Hello, I'm Eric, and this is April, and we're from Learn to Become.
Today we're talking about a super simple way to get moving, and it's called the microburst.
Not a macro burst, but a microburst.
So I learned about next actions, how to boil something down to the very, very next step that just takes, 10 minutes or so to get done, whatever we feel like procrastinating. And Eric, though, came up with a term, microburst. We've been using this for like a decade now.
I don't remember how I made it up. It's a small burst, right? Because a lot of times we have things we want to get done, or even bigger projects, and it's hard to get all of it done. It's impossible, actually. But we can use the little time we have to start making progress on it. So the microburst, right? Because if you have 10 minutes where you could move forward on something, you could use the time for that, or you could just get caught up in your phone and scrolling through social media and news and become extremely depressed by how things are going in the world. Or maybe see posts from some friends and make a couple comments that probably will end up frustrating or making somebody angry at you.
So instead of getting distracted and instead of just using our time frivolously, we want to be able to move forward on the things that matter. So we're just going to share how microbursts can work for one-off tasks, for routines, and for helping us be able to get some of those bigger projects done. First, we'll start off with an example from a one-off task.
Yeah. So one day our daughter came home from college and I was between a couple things, meetings, and heading somewhere else. She mentioned like one of the seals on one of the sides of her windshield was coming off. And I'm not a handyman by any means, but had a couple of supplies that could just help re-adhere it. So I just went out there, cleaned it off a little bit, and put that sealant on and just pushed it down. And she was able to hang around the house while I left, while it dried, and done. Like in 5 to 10 minutes, it solved the problem. Not completely. It'll probably need some additional repair at some point in the future, but it got that taken care of well enough that we're in good shape.
I love that microburst because when I was growing up, if something just broke, we would just live with it broken.
Maybe it would just stay broken forever. Maybe you can relate. I think all of us in our homes growing up had that.
So 10 minutes getting it done is awesome. Another is our routines. So let's look at that. For example, every morning I just do a quick kitchen cleanup. We have dishes that we washed the night before, so I just put those away and then feed the dog, do just a quick tidy if there's anything out, and then we're just ready to start the day.
So April wanted me to share how I also do mail. I like mail generally. April has never opened her
I like
mailbox. I
email.
think maybe she's opened our mailbox twice in our marriage. So I'll just walk out each day in the afternoon after the mail's been delivered, pick it up and walk in. And rather than just setting it on a place in the counter and just building an ever growing stack of mail,
Yeah.
maybe a mountain of mail, I just walk in as I'm walking into the house, looking at what things are very quickly. So a few things are probably unneeded advertising, some promotions. We can either recycle those or discard. A couple credit card offers. I'm sure everyone gets those every 2 minutes. So I just get those ripped up, and I have a place in our cabinet that's where the shred or burn goes. And then anything else is for a family member. We have a spot where it goes for them. And then anything else just has its place. So literally, as I walk in the door in 3 to 5 minutes, I've just sorted through the mail and it's going to who or where it needs to be, and we're done. No piles.
Yeah. So, okay, one-off task routines. Hopefully, you can see how just these little microbursts are
And
just getting you moving.
one last routine to throw in here. So at the end of the day, before we finish our nightly activities and go to bed, April doesn't let us sleep unless we've actually reset the
Stop.
parts of the house we've been in. And so, like up in the room where we might watch some TV or have some family time, we have to go and make sure all the cushions are reset, blankets are folded, and things are just straight.
Don't you love it
It
though?
takes 5 minutes. I don't love it, but it leaves things nice. Like when you come back to use that room or that space, it's ready to go.
Yeah, then whenever anyone comes over, the house is just ready. So he
Always
might give
ready.
me a hard time about it, but I think he likes it too. He actually initiates it.
I live for it. It's my favorite thing.
All right, finally, we're just going to talk about how projects can feel so much easier when we do our microbursts. So, a project I'm working on right now is doing this revamp of our STEP program. We teach people how to build this command central, how to get organized, and we love the program, but I wanted to refresh the videos and update some things. But that felt
But you
like
can do
this
that in you
huge
can do that in 10 minutes,
project.
right?
No, I can't
ten
do it 10 minutes
minutes.
or less. And I've been thinking like, oh, I'll do it next month, or oh, I'll do it next month. But I kept waiting to have so much open time, and then it was one of those things I started putting off.
Do you have a
So,
project that you're waiting for this massive amount of time to open up on for you?
yeah. And so I realized one of the reasons I was putting it off was because I felt like I needed to sit down, open five different browsers, compare things, write things out, plan them. And it just felt like I was, navigating this enormous thing. So instead, I figured out a microburst that would make it really easy. So I figured out the next step of the program I wanted to work on. And then I took all the text and just put it into, I use Asana. So I could just put it there and I could then edit from my phone or iPad or any computer, and I could just focus on that one part. Then when I go to sit down and have all the screens in front of me, I can work with that. But that's been so easy. I got the whole module I was working on done yesterday. It was like 7 different parts. I got it all
Good
done.
job.
Thank you. And it just felt light. And so the idea is that when you can do a microburst, it's just going to feel lighter
It
and you
makes
start
your
making
projects
progress.
just feel so light and fluffy, and you'll get so many more done.
Exactly. I hope that these ideas were helpful for you as you do your own microbursts, and we'll have a link in the description where we have a collection of microburst stories from members of our community who share amazing ways they've moved forward using microbursts.
So listen and learn from their experiences, and we are just so grateful to be with you today.